Our story builds on Mark Grayson's wild time travel journey from our last two Invincible chapters. If you missed them, don't worry. You can catch up later with links in the description or comments. Mark stands before a cosmic blue entity, its ethereal glow pulsing with judgment. This mysterious force, which has yanked him through time, delivers a stark ultimatum. Remain in this past timeline to save countless lives, undo the tragedies he knows will unfold, or return to his own time, to Eve and Tara, his family. Mark's chest tightens, torn between the weight of a hero's duty and the pull of love. His voice wavers, but he's resolute. I have to go back. The entity's scorn cuts deep. You're a disgrace. You've condemned this world to ruin. Mark flinches, but before he can retort, the entity's light surges, engulfing him in a radiant vortex. With a jarring boom, he's back, sprawled across the cold floor of a shadowy cave. He mutters, I can live with that, shaking off the sting of the entity's words, though doubt lingers in his heart. He stumbles to the cave's jagged mouth, launching into the sky, only to glance back at a shattered world. Theraxa, once vibrant, now a graveyard of rubble and despair. Mark's breath catches. Oh God, this planet's a disaster. The scars of his choices weigh heavy as he rockets away, leaving Theraxa's ruins behind. Pushing his speed to the limit, he streaks toward Telescria, his heart pounding with the need to see Eve and Tara. He lands on a terrace, the familiar glow of home flickering through a window. Spotting Eve, he calls softly, Miss me? She turns, her face a storm of shock and confusion. What? Mark sweeps her into a warm, desperate embrace. It's me, Eve, really me. I'm sorry I startled you. It's hard to put into words. Eve searches his eyes, her voice trembling with disbelief. You're back. You're truly here. Mark cradles her face, his touch gentle. I'm so sorry. I swore I'd never vanish like that again. He holds her close, urgency creeping into his voice. Eve, we need to talk. These creatures, they dragged me through time, said I could fix things, save people we've lost. Eve's eyes widen, her breath catching. Mark, what are you saying? He presses on. I know it sounds unhinged, but hear me out. I lived weeks in the past, back when you were with Rex, when my powers were still raw. It was like stepping into a dream I couldn't wake from. Eve blinks, her voice soft. That's where you were. The past. Mark nods. Yeah, these entities, whatever they were, claimed I had to restore balance, save those who died. They offered me a chance to rewrite history. Eve's voice falters. And you? Mark's face clouds with shame. I did something awful, Eve. I couldn't do what they wanted. Oh God, where's Tara? I need to hold her now. Eve gestures toward the house. She's in there. But Mark? He turns, and there's Tara, older now, her eyes wide with curiosity and uncertainty. She asks, her voice small, Are you my daddy? Mark's heart splinters, tears streaming down his face as he pulls her into a fierce hug. Yes, I'm your dad, Tara. I love you so much. His voice breaks. I was going to be there every day, sweetheart. I wanted to teach you, share every single moment. Tara murmurs, Daddy? Her warmth steadying him. Eve's tears spill too, her hand covering her mouth. Mark chokes out, I'm sorry, as Tara soothes. It's okay. He gazes at her, marveling. You're so grown up, so big. Eve wipes her eyes, her voice cracking. I can't believe you're back, Mark. Really here. He pulls Eve into another embrace. I love you. I'm so sorry. They cling to each other in a family hug, Tara's small arms consoling her father, and they step inside, the weight of lost time settling over them. Eve's voice softens. You're no hero for choosing Tara over the world. Mark nods, his throat tight. I knew she wouldn't exist if I stayed. I couldn't risk losing her. I had to come back. But now, I've missed so much. I don't even know where to begin. Tears well up again, and Eve rests a hand on his shoulder, her touch grounding. Start here, Mark. With me. He shakes his head. I feel like I've ruined everything. She's unwavering. You haven't. You're here now. We're together. But a shadow of guilt flickers across Eve's face, a fleeting hint of something dark. Something that transpired in Mark's absence. A secret that could unravel their fragile reunion. That night, Mark slips into Tara's room, watching her sleep, her peaceful face a stark contrast to his turmoil. Eve whispers, she's usually quick to settle. But tonight? Who can blame her? Mark exhales heavily. This is all overwhelming. Eve's concern deepens, her eyes searching his. You okay? He meets her gaze. Let's be real. It'll take time for either of us to be okay, right? She nods, her voice gentle. What happened back there in the past? Mark's tone grows somber. I learned I'm not a hero, Eve. They gave me a chance to save thousands. People my dad and I got killed, those lost to dinosaurs in Vegas, to robots massacre. But I chose to come back. Eve's expression shifts, a swirl of shock and unspoken emotions. What? The next morning, Telescria hums with life. A local, Hai Nong, greets Eve with a cheerful good morning. She smiles back, her ease catching Mark off guard. He chuckles. Okay, what was that about? Eve shrugs. I've gotten comfortable here. Honest, I kinda love it now. Mark's eyes widen. Holy crap, really? She laughs. Once you figure it out, it's not so bad. Tara bounds off to school, her voice bright. I'll miss you. Tara skips toward her school, her voice bright. See you later, Miss Luca. The teacher, Miss Luca, beams with warmth. Go ahead, Tara. Polly's inside, ready to sort your area. Eve steps forward, her tone calm but tinged with tension. Miss Luca, this is Tara's father, Mark. He extends a hand, his voice heavy with the weight of lost years. I've been gone. It's good to meet you. Miss Luca's smile is kind, but Mark's thoughts drift, clouded by the growing distance he senses from Eve, a rift that cuts deeper with each passing moment. That night, Mark lies in bed, the space beside him cold and empty. Eve's absence is a knife in his chest. She's not sleeping next to him, her unease radiating like a storm. The question gnaws at him. Why isn't she here? Why does she seem so unsettled by his return? He rises quietly, padding to Tara's room to check on her. Her gentle breathing soothes him briefly, a fleeting anchor in his turmoil. But as he slips back to bed, the ache of Eve's detachment festers, a wound more brutal than any Viltrumite blow. Sleep comes fitfully, haunted by the fear that their love is slipping away. The next day, Mark sits with Tara, reading her a bedtime story, her small body nestled against Eve on the couch. As both drift into sleep, their faces soft in the dim light, Mark's throat tightens. A tear escapes, tracing a slow path down his cheek. This, Eve, Tara, a family, is the dream he's fought for, the heart of why he defied time itself. Yet the moment is laced with sorrow, a reminder of the years stolen from him, of the life he missed. He lingers, soaking in the quiet beauty, his heart swollen with love and loss, clinging to this fragile slice of what he's always wanted. Later, they travel to a secluded planet, a breathtaking haven of emerald hills and vibrant wildflowers swaying in a gentle breeze. Tara bounds off with a cheerful bot named Eddie, plucking flowers with unrestrained joy. Mark takes in the serene landscape, his voice filled with awe. This place is unreal, Eve. How'd you find it? She replies softly, her eyes distant. I built it. Mark's jaw drops. Whoa, that's incredible. Eve shrugs. Thanks. Alan pointed me to this planet ages ago. It's quiet, peaceful. I thought it's what you needed after everything. Mark's gaze softens. Yeah, it's exactly what I needed. He leans in, heart hopeful, aiming to kiss her, but Eve tenses, her body rigid, as she gently pushes his hand from her waist and steps back. Mark's stomach lurches. What's wrong? Eve's eyes fall, her voice thick with pain. It's been 5 years, Mark. His face crumples. You think I don't know that? She presses on, her words heavy. It was a long time. A lot happened while you were gone. Mark's voice softens, a flicker of understanding breaking through his hurt. Okay, I get it. For me, it was just weeks. But I know it's been a lifetime for you. I'm sorry. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. Eve shakes her head, her face etched with guilt. No, that's not it. She takes a shaky breath and drops the bombshell. There was someone else. The words hit Mark like a supernova, his world shattering. Eve's voice quavers. His name was Kubian. Talia introduced us. It wasn't long. You'd been gone 4 years. Mark's heart fractures, the pain of Tara's lost childhood now compounded by this betrayal, the final blow to his battered spirit. His voice is barely a whisper. You don't have to explain. Eve's tears spill. It ended recently. I didn't want you to. Mark cuts her off, his voice steady despite the agony. Eve, it's okay. You don't need to do this. 5 years is an eternity. I get it. He pulls her into a trembling embrace. I love you, no matter what. But inside, this is the hardest gut punch Invincible has ever endured. A scar no hero's strength can heal. Mark turns to Tara, mustering a smile. Having fun, kiddo. She grins. Oh yeah, Eddie and I were picking flowers. He's so boring, but he shut up. Did Mom show you the pond? It's down the hill. We catch lobs there. Ever tried one? Mom makes them amazing. Mark chuckles. Your mom's cooking's always been the best. Want to fly to the pond? Tara's eyes sparkle. Okay. He lifts her gently, soaring low. But Tara squeals, Put me down. Mark lands fast. I'm sorry, sweetheart. We're down. You're safe. Tara's voice trembles. You're not supposed to go so high. It's scary. Mark kneels. Okay. No high flights. Tara sniffles. I want to fly, but low. He laughs. I can do that. They glide slowly, Tara giggling. Not so fast. Mark grins. My bad. Nice and easy. It's a radiant moment. A fleeting burst of joy for Mark and his daughter. A memory to hold on to. That night, Eve's voice is hesitant. You're upset about it, aren't you? Mark exhales. Yeah, of course. I'm heartbroken you were with someone else, but I know you did nothing wrong. You don't owe me an apology. Eve's eyes shimmer. That makes sense, but I feel awful, Mark. He shakes his head. I don't want you carrying that guilt. I'm trying to move forward. But honestly, that's not what's eating at me. Alan's silence is weird. Aaron sent a transmission saying I'm back, but the coalition hasn't responded. Eve nods. It's only been days. Something's probably holding them up. Mark sighs. You're right. It's nothing. Weeks later, Mark and Eve reach a coalition outpost, where Alan recovers from a devastating betrayal. Mark's voice is thick with guilt. We came as soon as we heard. I'm sorry we weren't here. Eve's eyes brim. Oh God, Alan. We feel horrible. Alan's tone is grim. Don't. It's not on you. I was betrayed from within. Aliyah, the traitor, dealt with herself in the end. Mark's brow furrows. Was she working for Thrag? Is he scheming inside the coalition? The coalition outpost hums with tension as Mark and Eve stand beside Alan, who's still shaken from a traitor's blow. Alan's voice cuts through. No. Elia aimed to replace me with someone who could crush Thrag. A shadow of guilt flickers across Oliver's face, Mark's younger brother, hinting at unspoken truths buried deep. Eve steps forward, her voice steady, yet laced with empathy. Alan, how's Talia coping? I've walked her path. Maybe I can help. Alan shrugs. She's out grabbing food, but she'll be back soon. His sudden "oh crap" shatters the moment as the door swings open. Kubian, Eve's former lover, enters with his sister Talia, and the room feels like it's holding its breath, the air thick with unresolved pain. Talia's eyes widen, caught off guard. I didn't know you were here. Kubian's gaze locks on Eve, his tone soft but heavy. Hey, Eve. She stiffens, her words sharp. We came to check on Alan. We're leaving. Mark's stare shifts to Kubian, recognition slamming into him like a freight train. Wait. This is him? Eve clutches Tara's hand, her voice tight. Come on, Tara, let's go. Mark's heart races, his voice trembling as he seeks to ground himself. So that was Kubian? Eve nods, her eyes shimmering with unshed tears. Yes. He forces a breath. It's okay, but Eve's voice breaks. It's not. Kubian hurries after them. Eve, wait. You don't have to leave. I'll go. Can we talk? Eve's stance is iron. No private talks. Kubian presses, alone. She stands resolute. Say it in front of Mark. Mark steps forward, his tone calm despite the storm inside. Hi, I'm... Kubian cuts him off. I know who you are. His eyes blaze. You want this here? Fine. Eve, you're vibrant, bursting with life. You deserve true joy. It tears me apart that you're chained to outdated family duties. Live for you. I know he can't make you feel like I... Before he finishes, Eve's fist rockets into his jaw, sending him crashing to the floor. Tara cheers, her small voice ringing with glee. Kubian lies still, Eve's glare a fortress of finality, slamming shut that painful chapter with one decisive blow. Later, Tara animatedly recounts the scene to her Uncle Oliver, her words tumbling in a rush. He was talking and talking, using all these fancy words I didn't understand. Oliver chuckles, said, Tara, not say did. She plows on, he wouldn't stop, and Mommy didn't wait. She just hated him. Oliver grins. She hit him. Tara's eyes gleam. It was awesome. Mark, standing nearby, shakes his head. Tara, hitting isn't awesome. Oliver winks. maybe a little awesome. Tara nods, beaming. Mark sighs, Oliver, as the big brother, but concedes, yeah, maybe a bit. I didn't hate Kubian, but it's clear where we stand. Eve and I, we haven't really hashed it out, and that weighs on me. Talia, Alan's girlfriend and Kubian's sister, speaks up. Her voice edged with bitterness. Eve loved my brother. They were good together. He brought her joy. The issue was her tie to your little monster there. Kubian saw Tara as a burden. Some folks have no patience for kids. He forced Eve to choose. She didn't pick him. Oliver covers Tara's ears. Jesus, Talia, not in front of her. Mark raises a hand, his voice quiet. No, it's okay. I need to hear this. Or, I thought I did. The truth stings, a fresh wound atop old scars. Talia scoffs. Mark's a wimp, and storms off. Oliver rests a hand on Mark's shoulder. Ignore her. She's the worst. Oliver shifts, his tone softer. Talked to Mom and Dad since you got back? Mark shakes his head. No? You? We've tried. But nothing's getting through. Alan thinks it's interference. Mark's brow creases. Eve and I are worried sick. We're heading to Earth tomorrow to check on them. Oliver nods. Solid plan. I'd join, but I'm buried, especially with Alan's mess. Eve approaches, her voice weary. Can we go? Mark agrees. Sure. Let's say goodbye to Alan. Tara tugs his hand, her eyes wide. Did you kill that guy? Eve smirks. No mercy in her gaze after flattening Kubian. Talia, seething, vents to Alan. She sucker-punched him and walked away. That woman's out of control. Kubian, rubbing his jaw, waves her off. Talia, it's fine. A doctor steps in. Alan's recovery is astounding. He'll be walking in days, not weeks. Alan's frame swells, his strength surging, a testament to his unbreakable spirit. Oliver enters, his face grim. Reports are pouring in from remote systems. Thrag's gaining ground fast. I'm getting worried. The specter of Thrag looms ever larger, a growing storm that threatens to pull Mark, Eve, and their allies into a brutal conflict, leaving their families' wounds unhealed and Earth's safety hanging in the balance. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. You can watch other videos here. Thank you.